We have a duty to stay true to the cause. We have a duty to remind the King and Britain of what they did to us. Indeed, he shows no remorse. He says this was bad, it shouldn't have happened. But he runs short of, I apologize, I am sorry. He will never say he is sorry, for because he thinks that his race makes him superior and he's not qualified to apologize to those who are junior to him.
What if I told you the narratives being spun about Mozambique aren't just misleading? They are part of a larger agenda. Africa is being manipulated, and it's time we pay attention to the so-called change makers pulling the strings. Welcome to Inkari, It's Time, where we uncover the truth behind Africa's political and socio-economic challenges. I'm Kondos, and today we're diving into the Mozambican crisis. The Brenthurst Foundation's Musketeers, Mmusi Maimane, Hakainde Hichilema, Julius Malema, and Nelson Chamisa are touted as agents of change. But is their narrative masking a deeper problem? Let's analyze how their agendas, backed by external influences, could shape the future of Africa, and why South Africa's role is crucial in preventing another humanitarian crisis. The Brenthurst Musketeers narratives. Mmusi Maimane has already started pushing a narrative about Mozambique's instability, framing it as an isolated issue. The other figures, Hichilema, Malema, and Chamisa, often present themselves as champions of change. But are they truly independent? Or are they pawns in a broader agenda influenced by foreign think tanks like the Brenthurst Foundation? These leaders are being positioned to influence Africa's trajectory, but whose interest are they truly serving?
The Zimbabwean youth must rise, because that nonsense will never come to an end as long as there is no unity of purpose against the tyranny, against the suppression of political wishes of Zimbabweans. So ourselves at Pan-African Parliament, at the AU, at SADC, we have to have a political will to speak for the people of Zimbabwe. When it comes from us, it will have more weight than when it comes from Europe. Why? Because we're brothers and sisters. They will know it's a friendly fire. But SADC, AU, South Africa, they are failing Zimbabweans because it's a bruise-up, it's friendship, it's brother leader, brother. When they meet, brother. And then when you ask what is the resolution, no one has taken any resolution. So you need a clear position from SADC which gives the timelines that by this time this should have happened. But otherwise, Mnangagwa is going to come back and he's got nothing to offer at all. So Chiwenga is done. He will not be anything. They used him. Chiwenga is no longer the most powerful military man in Zimbabwe now. They've weakened him. So only the power of the youth of Zimbabwe can change the political status quo. And the Zimbabweans have to know that we are with them, including Zimbabweans who are here in South Africa.
Now to get Malema from South Africa, coming from Norway, talking about succession in Zimbabwe, it shows that this is a foreign agenda. And to whom does Malema pander to? He panders to the dictates of the post-colonial or of the colonial company, colonial era company, Anglo-American, which is an offshoot from Cecil John Rhodes, which actually ran this region from Cape Town up to the Copper Belt in Congo and Zambia. And it manifests itself today in an organization called the Brenthurst Foundation. The Brenthurst Foundation is the one which authored Mumba of Zambia's document about the elections in Zimbabwe. This is the ilk from which Julius Malema emanates from. He posits as a pseudo-revolutionary and a cryptic intellectual. He never properly went to school. And he propounds big theories about how Zimbabwe should be run, as if it is his own country. At 43 years of age, he is no longer a youth. Who is he from South Africa to try to tell the youths of Zimbabwe who should be their ruler? Malema, pakatipo payama. He has just been in an election. He comes third for a party which broke away from the NC several years ago. Third from a Kondos MK from Zuma, a party which is hardly 6 months. It's clear that his pseudo-revolutionary message within South Africa has reached a dead end. That's why he could be overtaken. That's why he never made it himself to become the president. So charity begins at home. If you are so good at leadership that you can give strictures to Zimbabwean youth, why not make it success your own homegrown ride to power at Mashambanzo in Pretoria, in Tswane? He can't. So he suffers from the Rhodes syndrome. We say to him, keep your dead hands out of Zimbabwe's affairs, Malema. Focus on trying to win a South African election first. That's why there are boundaries. That's why the Limpopo is a boundary between Zimbabwe and South Africa. She has no authority at all to be speaking about Zimbabwean politics. So his miseducation and the cryptic knowledge of Malema about school created this subversive combustion which makes them talk about things which are beyond their intellectual capabilities to grasp. Nobody will listen to them because Zimbabwe's youths are achievers.
The Mozambican crisis in context. Mozambique faces escalating challenges: insurgency in Cabo Delgado, economic instability, and governance failures. South Africa, as a regional powerhouse, has a role to play in stabilizing Mozambique to prevent a mass migration crisis similar to Zimbabwe's exodus. Failure to act swiftly could result in a humanitarian disaster, putting pressure on South Africa's already strained systems.
And now, of course, people have left him, and they now say, I'm controlling Julius. I've never met him. But I did send him a text message through a friend that if he doesn't stop lying about me, I'm going to tell the world that I actually do give him money.
We begin with Mozambique, all the latest, where the tensions continue to simmer over the 9th of October presidential election and its disputed results. The southern African nation is facing its most precarious post-election period since it turned into a democracy 30 years ago. Mozambique's main opposition leader, Venancio Mondlane, has threatened to wreak chaos and disorder across the country if a top court upholds the official election results. The 50-year-old Podemos party leader has also called on his supporters to paralyze the southern African country starting next week. The dispute currently rests with Mozambique's Constitutional Council, which is due to confirm the election results at the least 2 weeks ahead of the January inauguration of the next president. The council said it was working hard to achieve the electoral truth.
The real problem: Systemic exploitation. Africa's problem is not just leadership, but systems that exploit and abuse the poor. Poor people don't corrupt systems. Systems are designed to exploit the poor. The Mozambican crisis is a symptom of deeper structural flaws across the continent. Why the narratives matter? Narratives like those pushed by the Musketeers shape public opinion and policy. These narratives often deflect from the root causes, focusing on short-term solutions or framing problems in ways that benefit external actors. We must critically assess who benefits from these stories and whose voices are being amplified. South Africa's role. South Africa must act decisively to support Mozambique through diplomatic, economic, and security interventions. Ignoring this crisis could lead to regional instability, economic strain, and a surge in illegal immigration. The time for action is now. History has shown us the cost of inaction. Thank you for watching Inkari It's Time. If we want a stable and prosperous Africa, we must question the narratives being pushed and take action to address the root causes of our challenges. What do you think about the role of these so-called change makers and South Africa's responsibility in the Mozambican crisis? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to join the conversation and stay informed. Together, we can ensure Africa's future is shaped by Africans for Africans.